Welcome to the Tea Party with Marty Abernathy, a show by an ultra-feminine, meek, shy, totally unopinionated trans woman that seeks to listen to both sides and does not make fun of TERFs. You've listened to the show, right? You still want me to say this? Okay. Here's your host, Marty Abernathy.
Oh, good evening, everyone. Kind of a weird evening this evening. My setup is being, I don't know, a bit grumpy. So I don't know. I don't know if my mouse is going to cooperate for the entire show. I hope so. Anyways, you can go to teapartypodcast.com if you want to help out. Join my socials. You can become a patron. Become a patron. Oh. What? You can't hear me? Can't hear my mic? Oh. I can fix that. Oh, god damn. You can hear me now, can't you? It looks like it. I think. Oh my god. Okay. Am I low? Am I low and muffled? Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, you can go to teapartypodcast.com. I set this up myself, and it should be the same every time, but it's not. Anyways, it's probably because I wasn't in front of the microphone. This microphone knows me. I want to have it right in my face. I could have gotten another mic, but I got this one because I knew that I could just... That'll be a good one if somebody takes a screenshot. Anyways, teapartypodcast.com for all the socials. I want to start out with what I'm going to call spilling tea in the comments. Let's do it. That's going to be for later. That's going to be left for later. So, So we got a comment from Nerd Teacher, Capricious Nerd. The conversation you had on here about the U.S. military is like a conversation I keep having with some of my Israel friends. Who openly disagree with Israel with regards to the conscription, which I often keep hearing them say you have to because it's a legal requirement, or it's legally it's required. But there is a high profile Taylor Swift parody account who did time for refusing, and hundreds of people refuse every year. There are always choices to make, and people who participate in upholding these systems need to be held accountable for their actions and doing so. I mean, as a leftist, well, my biggest problems is to sit there and say, hey, we have the power to change things. Employment power, people power. We can get out on the streets. And then turn around and say, but don't blame it on the military. They're just doing their job. They're fighting for our freedom. And there's so many things wrong with all that. When people say shit like that, I'm just like, what freedom are you fighting for? Like, I can understand World War II. You know, say what you will, America was attacked at Pearl Harbor. And the Germans were a fucking genocidal asshole. So, I mean, I can totally see us going to war for that reason. And it was a world war. But every war since then has been a war of convenience. It's been a convenient, not for the rich. I mean, not for the poor, but for the rich, because they didn't have to go. The people that are president now, You know, Obama didn't go. I don't know if he was old enough at the time, but he's never served. Trump never served. Trump, what do they call him? Heel spur, General heel spur, something like that. And it's absurd. It's basically the poor. And I do understand that there's manipulation going on there, but at the same time, it's that old adage, that people talk about. I'm just following orders. That didn't work at Nuremberg, and it shouldn't work for us. But so I agree with Nerd Teacher there. And then on the second comment, they said, Vosh is the perfect example of someone who says things far too confidently for his own good in order to pass them off as correct. Here's the thing. It's a confidence trick. Literally, you're being sold. It's like buying a car. It's a confidence trick. It's basically telling you what you think you want. I mean, Vosh is someone that speaks to a certain audience, and he says what he says confidently, and people buy into confidence, because I hate to say this, but most people are insecure. Even the people that have the biggest, I'll give you an example. This is something out of my world of healthcare. When it comes to drawing blood, I've been a phlebotomist for about 35 years. And I've taught people how to draw blood. And basically the biggest advice I give them is fake it until you make it. And it's the same thing with this. They literally are just tricking you with their confidence. And just hearing his bullshit spread around all the time, oh my God. Also, my first post ever, at least on Nerd Teacher, I believe that's nerdteacher.com, was about how people like him actually make my job harder because kids see him and others as putting debate as a top priority of all things correct. Like Dan Arrow says, debate never solves anything. It's not about the truth. It's about who can present the best, who can produce the best. It's not about the argument or the validity of the argument. It's about the presentation of the argument. It literally is a fucking gladiator event. Fight, 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 fight. And some random geek, I wasn't talking specifically to you, but if the shoe fits, put that shit on and work it. But yeah, Nerd Teacher says, and I have to take so much of my time in every single year to work with the kids to help them realize that he's just entertainment and he's not that knowledgeable, while also trying to show the discussion and conversation is far superior tactics. I believe I actually have to unwire kids to think debate is, which it isn't, shit he does, or which isn't shit he does, and what they show to be, and to help them understand the purpose of debate. And some random geek in the chat, I mean, there's different kinds of debate. There's like high school and college debate. It's about presentation. A debate is a show ultimately, especially when it's in this type of arena. It is entertainment, and they want to see people humiliated. They want to see people insulted. They want to see blood. That's it. Nerd Teacher says, and I know people are quick to go, not all teens watch Vosh, and no, they don't. But I still work with a lot of kids who reference this fucker, among others. And they also share those clips during breaks and after school. They learn from this shit, and he's just so fucking harmful, even for the people who don't watch him. And it's like, for fuck's sake, I'm not even in an English-speaking country, so just imagine what's getting ignored elsewhere. But it's also fucking annoying how he launders absolute trash ideas to people, not even just kids. He just fucking launders it and doesn't even care, and it's just a migraine. And people talk about how so few people see him, so it doesn't matter. But you know what? I've worked with a number of people in so-called leftist organizations who laundered shit just like the way he does, because he's one link in a whole damn chain. And then they give me some tech help about getting around paywalls, which I'm thankful, and I did install the Wayback Machine extension. Thank you very much. So, yeah, those are some comments on the Vosh show. We got comments on our Black Bloc Politics show with Eric. Daisy Arrayas said, this is a great interview. It's nice to hear someone's personal life and how it's been transformed and affect others. I really enjoyed doing that interview. By the way, I do apologize, you guys, that there wasn't a show this weekend, but Nerd Teacher, it is your place, you know. But another person did comment. But I really enjoyed the interview, and I got a chance. It's so funny because Eric said that he was nervous about coming on the show, and I was nervous about interviewing him. You guys watch that have the thing is, like, you guys know I watch a lot of him, and I don't post half the stuff that I watch and like. So, and he's said he doesn't like hero worship, and it's not that. I do feel like he's a fantastic comrade, and I am going to have him on the show tonight via video. And I hope to have more guests on, but I would like to have them on during the show ultimately. But and some random geek said, I listened to that interview in the podcast form. I really enjoyed your interview with Black Box Politics. He's just so dynamic. Nerd Teacher, he says, I just adore him. Just because he's such a stellar example of a person. He shows so much tenderness. At the same time, he can be a badass. And he deals with people that are assholes, and he doesn't give them a lot of space, time, or he doesn't relent. So it's a good mixture, and I feel like I've learned a lot. And even if I don't agree, like, I am going to disagree with him tonight, actually. I love the person that he is and the way he puts himself out to the world. Anyways, but like I said, I plan to have more interviews, and I would like to integrate them into the show itself. But I talk too long. I was thinking about having the interview in the show, during the show, and I was just like, fuck, this is 2 hours long. In fact, I had to use the shittiest compression just to get it. I'm sorry, some random geek, because I know the podcast sound absolutely horrible quality wise, because I had to use like 32 KB or something like that to get it size-wise to fit. We will upgrade the podcast archive, but right now, I just want this thing to pay for itself, and that's not happening yet. But you can help that happen. TeaPartyPodcast.com. Become a patron. Can't say that enough. Thank you to my patrons. All 4 of them. Actually, I'm really glad you said that, Some Random Geek. It's one of those things, like when you listen to the interview, Eric's such a focus. You know, I took it as a phone call, so it is what it is. Anyways, that is the Tea Party tea, spilling the tea in the comments. We also had Nerd Teacher say, laughing my ass off, you talk about introverts. Hello, that's me. I'm pretty outgoing, but I'm definitely that kind of person who needs to go and hide for a while. Yeah, fuck. See, I'm just the opposite. Like, I tend like, I haven't been out of the house. I've had days off work, and I haven't been out of the house in 3 days. And I've been doing work. I've been getting work done. Stuff that I wanted to get done while I was off. And that's good, but at the same time, you know, I need to get out and be around people. So anyways, that is that. What I said that I was going to disagree with, Comrade Cuddles, as I like to call him, is the he had a post today, which I totally support him in, and this is what he posted.
Quick question: who wants to help me buy all of this so we can turn it into tent cities for our unhoused comrades? And then the police can't remove them from the space because we own it. Look at all this. And look what it's occupying it. Just some fucking trailers, some trash, all this space available. Now, of course, once we own it, we can do whatever we want with it, right? Hell, we could probably even build our own commune. I don't know. I walk around my city, I see all this random unused space. I see people displaced by capitalism, jam-packed into spaces where they have the best chance of getting resources. And I think we can do something about that. What do y'all think?
I think there is things that you can do, but watching this kind of puts it in perspective to me. Come on.
So this sort of stuff is really good. It's personally, it's something that I'm planning to do, and I see the sentiments for it growing more and more every day. But we have to acknowledge the fact that escaping capitalism isn't going to be this easy. Like, as more and more people transition into this lifestyle and move labor away from this capitalistic system, capitalists are going to do everything in their power to make it hard or impossible for us. They're going to pass stricter, more insane zoning laws, building laws, farming laws, and they're going to get the police involved. Just watch. Like, I bet that's what's going to happen.
And funny enough, it already does happen. Living off the grid. Illegal, sort of. And this is from May of 2021. in the most simplistic definition, off-the-grid living means being disconnected from the public power grid. Off-grid living by itself is not technically illegal. Producing your own power off the grid producing your own power is off-grid living and perfectly legal. Growing your own food is living off the grid and legal. Building your own home in the country while not being connected to the power of the grid is off the grid. So raising livestock, building a greenhouse, planting your garden, all legal. The problem arises when overly restrictive city and county ordinances and zoning restrictions put a crimp in the off the grid lifestyle. And what he was saying was like having a tent city. Camping on your own land is illegal. Yes, you read that right. In most places throughout the USA, it is illegal to camp on your own land for more than 2 weeks. This seems to be an arbitrary duration that most counties and cities have adopted. Some believe that it is to keep homeless people from setting up tent cities and devaluing surrounding properties. This means that if you want to camp in a travel trailer while you build your cabin, you can't camp there for more than 2 weeks unless you get a long-term camping permit from your city. Good luck with that. If they will not issue a permit, and that's what it all comes down to. They don't want you to do that. They don't want you to do that. Some random geek said, I read an article about Las Vegas food, not bombs, and the sidewalk project building 22 homes for the houseless folks. The state crushed the encampment because the trash was piling up. Yeah. They don't want you to be off the grid. They want you to be their fucking slave. They won't let you. There's a minimum square footage. There are zoning restrictions that say your dwelling must meet a minimum square footage requirement, or the city will not issue a building permit. All buildings and dwellings must be approved by the city and the county office, and you must get a permit before building. Most counties require home sizes to be 500 to 1,000 square feet minimum. This means that if you want to build a 200 to 400 square foot cabin on your land, it's probably going to be illegal to build because the county will not issue a building permit. In addition, your cabin must meet international building codes. If your building does not meet building codes, you will be in violation of the law, even if you do get a building permit. I mean, it's all fucking set up for you not to do this, for people not to do this. They want homeless people to die. That's the bottom line. They don't care. They want people to die. They don't want them to live in small houses. They don't want them to live anywhere. They want them to be on the streets, and they want them to die. They don't give a fuck. I mean, it's everything. Water, the power system. In some states, it's possible to cut your energy usage down enough to have a surplus, and that surplus will be sold to the utility company at a discounted wholesale rate. It can eliminate your electricity bill completely or reduce it. But some counties will not allow you to be disconnected from their utilities. Usually that means in rural areas closer to town. In town, of course, it's most likely that it's illegal to disconnect from the public utility system completely. So you don't own shit. You don't own your house. You don't own the property. You lease it. And it's everything, even the food you eat and the livestock. So, yeah. I mean, and there's some things on this site that talk about how to get it done, but they don't want you to. That's the bottom line. And this video kind of made me think about the internet and
This is the normal world. You go to work in a city. All around you are enormous new buildings. They look alike. But you will never be able to afford to live in them because they are not really homes. They are blocks of money bought by global investors whose money has nowhere else to go.
Well, at 20 minutes to 5, we can now say the decision taken in 1975 has been reversed by this
Brexit
referendum.
happened. It showed that all the people who are supposed to tell you about the world, the journalists, the politicians, the think tank experts, know nothing. It showed that they and you live in a dream world, detached from reality. You spend your days and nights on social media. The original vision was that it was going to open up a new paradise where information was shared freely. But now, the algorithms are so strong and know so much about you that they only give you what they know you like.
see, and that you are alone. When you go on Facebook, when you go on Twitter, you're alone. You got about 6 or 7 other people with you. If you're on Twitter, if you're on Facebook, you've got about 6 or 7 people that are with you. That's it. If you want more than that, you got to pay for it. There's nothing that's for free, especially on the internet. If you want views, I can get more views for the show. I can go on Facebook and I can pay for them. But I'm not going to. Jordan Joan P says, but if you own something, it's yours forever. Here's the thing. That's what always got me about buying a house. You're going to own it, but you're always going to have to pay taxes. You're always going to have to pay something to the government. And you never really own it. You're leasing it. And when you get sick and you have to go in the hospital, guess what happens? You can get Medicare, you can get Medicaid, you can get all those things. But guess what? You have to sell all your property and use that money first. You don't own jack shit. You don't own jack shit. A nerd teacher says you can be eminent domain. That has happened to my family more than a few times. Yeah. The government decides they want your property. You better hope that your property is not on a line or somebody wants it for a mall. Because you know what? They'll get it.
You have become trapped in an echo chamber where all you see and hear is you.
And that's right. All you see and hear is you. I mean, that's why I kind of think that we should be leveraging. By the way, God damn it, I can't remember. If you go to my Twitter account, let's see if I have it up here. Oh, I can just go to teapartypodcast.com right here, everybody. And click, and there I go. So, what was I going to teapartypodcast.com? Oh. If I go to tweets and replies here. So I love that. Man, what the hell happened 1548 to 1948? So I found this fucking awesome thing. I'm just trying to find it for you. Where are you at? Oh, here we go. It's called MOA Party. So what you can do is you go to MOA.party here. and it will hook your Mastodon and your Twitter up. There's no ads, there's no nothing. And it literally will cross post both ways. So if I post something to Twitter, it posts on Mastodon. If I post something on Mastodon, it posts on Twitter. Goes both ways. It doesn't show any ads, any links, anything like that. So, yeah. Get that. Because you want to leverage these social media companies against each other. It's important. Because they want you to think, like when I'll give you an example. So if I go back here, if I look at, let's see. So I responded to this, a fairly big creator. Look on the analytics. 62 impressions and 2 total engagements. 62 people. This is a fucking guy. This guy has 606,400 people following him. It should have 6,473 impressions, but it doesn't, because not everybody sees his stuff. See how that works? Yes, Jordan, ain't nothing but a MOA party. Yes, MOA party will cross post. By the way, this made me laugh. Piss fart shit poo started following on me on TikTok, so my life is complete now. But yeah, I mean, so just that one. If you look at the fucking engagement, 124 people saw it. So like 124 people saw that tweet, right? I have 773 is the number of people that follow me. 1/7 of those people saw that tweet. So anyways, leverage it as much. And I believe MOA does supposedly Instagram as well. Yeah, and Nerd Teacher says and even the saw is questionable. Exactly. And that's what I mean. This guy's not being hyperbolic when he says that you're alone. You are only seeing Nerd Teacher says because they could just skip past it while doom scrolling. And see, that's the thing. You don't know. And I'm just trying to see if there I don't think that I don't think that there's engagements. Like you can't tell on your but I do want to show this. Dun, 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 dun. This is what my Mastodon looks like. Everything that I've posted goes right across. You know, even the video, if you want to watch the video on Twitter, you can. Everything just goes across. So and the reason why I'm saying this, I think it's really important that you get yourself, if you want your voice to be heard, You need to be on as many platforms as possible. Be on TikTok, be on Clapper, although Clapper, be on Instagram. Leverage these sites. If you're making these videos, and what my work path that I'm working towards is making my videos every day and then uploading them to Instagram. Well, and I am doing that. I do right now. A lot of times I'll respond on TikTok and then I upload it to Instagram. But like I said, we need to leverage these things. I'm not going to go fucking be on Rumble. Don't worry. Isn't that what it's called? Or Ramble or whatever. Oh dear. Oh dear. What else we got? Oh. TikTok. Oh my God. TikTok. What are you doing, TikTok? On TikTok, misogyny and white supremacy slip through enforcement gap. Let's see if I can. There we go. A new report shows how extremists use profiles, hashtags, and other effects that violate the platform's community guidelines. Violent extremists, neo-Nazis, and other white supremacist groups are able to easily spread racist, misogynistic, and anti-LGBTQ content on TikTok that runs afoul of the social media platform's own terms of service, according to new research by the Institute for Strategic Dialogue. The ISD, which I really want to refer to as the LSD, examines how extremists use profiles, hashtags, music, and other effects on TikTok. Researchers identified a sample of 1,030 videos from 491 accounts, or about 8 hours of content that seemingly violated TikTok's community guidelines. At least 312 of those videos promoted white supremacy, and 246 expressed support for organizations or individuals known to be extremists or terrorists. At least 58 videos included misogynistic content, and 90 had anti-LGBTQ plus sentiments, ISD found. And here's the thing. Here's the thing with this. Like there are LGBT content creators, and especially Black and Indigenous creators on TikTok, that are getting fucking banned for no reason. People will just mass report them. They have these little mass report campaigns, and TikTok just, they don't care about their creators. That's what I'm saying. You get your content on there. These things need to be, it's like Eric and I talked about, these things need to be, it needs to be about guerrilla tactics. We need a very pointed message, and it needs to go out to a lot of different platforms to get that message out. And we need to support platforms that support us and that are linear, that don't have these algorithms, and they are out there. So yeah, looking at that report, O'Connor said that it's difficult for researchers to do large-scale searches of TikTok content, so he used a snowball methodology, manually searching 157 keywords that led to accounts sharing far-right views. That's the thing. A TikTok spokesman said the platform categorically prohibits violent extremism and hateful behavior, and our dedicated team will remove any such content as it violates our policies and undermines the creative and joyful experience people expect on our platform. Yeah, when we find it and you tell us about it and you print it in the paper, we'll take it down after about a couple weeks of it getting a bunch of numbers. I had my eyes open to this when let's see if it's even on the internet. It's called Ra the Ken doll. Yes. So this guy is he's a real nice looking guy, but he is a big shithead. He said some really the rise and fall. Here we go. Here we go.
Basically, what happened is this guy, Ra the Ken doll, got caught saying a bunch of anti-LGBT stuff, talking to like a little kid and telling them to get down on their knees. And people are really, really upset. So obviously, like, people are mad. And he decided that he wanted to say, oh, it was all a social experiment. And I just wanted to talk about like what is basically pretty privilege.
This video is for any of my followers or anybody that stumbles in from the For You page that happens to follow Ra the Ken doll. Now, TW, I am going to share some screenshots.
Like, literally, when this happened, literally, he would report anybody that added him. If they added him, and basically he would report them, and their content would get this video of him telling this child to get down on their knees. That wasn't taken down, but stuff like this would.
And on top of the stuff that I am bringing to light, please watch Budget Jason Statham's video on it. This is his video, go watch it. So from Jason's video, you can see that he's against trans people. He does not like the LGBTQ community, saying they shouldn't exist. The following screenshots are from a friend of mine, from the kink community. For privacy's sake, her name is blurred. She went to his DMs and asked, you came up in conversation and someone said not to follow you because you told someone to themselves in your live the other day. To which he responded, it definitely was me. I have a small amount of tolerance for people. What I find interesting is when people think I'm nice because of the way I look, aka I'm pretty, so no one's gonna think I'm a piece of shit. Do I say that type of thing all the time? Yes. Do I mean it? Yes. Having said that, my purpose is global. I've joined one of his lives before. He was really on his live promoting anorexia, saying no uglies here. Raw, you're a piece of shit.
So clearly the situation goes a bit deeper than we thought it
He
did.
made violently sexual remarks to a child several times on a live stream. Also said that gay and trans people shouldn't exist. So there's that.
So literally, this is what is called outrage farming. This is what happens on TikTok. The people that get the views are the people that cause the outrage. You won't see me on there with the big numbers. That's the thing. We shouldn't focus on getting numbers. We should focus on getting our message out to the people. Right now, there's 6 people watching this on YouTube and Twitch. And I don't know how many are on Twitter watching right now. But maybe, let's say there are 6. That's 12 people. But you 12 people are now know more about how this shit works. And you're educated, and you can basically that's what I want to get across. This is what's happening. This outrage farming. Whoopsies. That's not where I wanted to go. Let's do this.
Video was taken down in 10 minutes.
Man lands on his feet. Girls get on their knees.
Makes you a shitty person. So maybe he doesn't deserve all those followers or even to be on this app. Also, his Instagram has his sponsors. I wonder if they share his views. Maybe everyone should message them and ask.
So once we hit this point, he actually started coming out with an excuse on what he did.
Like, creators they literally were being taken down. And it took a long time.
One is, the more good we expect them to be. But there is also a possibility that we find them less than trustworthy, which is an interesting concept as well when it comes to this kind of situation. In a study done by Smith
doesn't care about
And it's privileged you.
No, fucking no. You're not going to gaslight an entire community because you're trying to backpedal out of this bullshit. What a planned PR series that was. You are getting shit on this app and you deserve it. And now that people are contacting your sponsors and affecting your financial situation, now it's time to make a series. I don't think so. It was not a one-off or a two-off video social experiment. It was many clips.
And here's the thing. He got kicked off of TikTok eventually. He got a shit ton of followers on Instagram. In fact, let's see how many followers does he have on Instagram? 21,000 followers. 21,000 followers. He doesn't have any sponsors though. Not at least not on there. But that's the thing. This is what happens on TikTok. And this is what it's about. It's called outrage farming or rage farming. It is how it works. And they don't care about the creators. So at the end of the day, diversify is what I'm saying. So anyways, let's watch the rest of this video.
You go into an office and sit at a desk, but maybe it is a fake job. Your real job is shopping. The true factories of our time are the shopping malls. That is where the real hard work is done. You are managed with performance targets and measured outcomes. But as you sit in the glass-walled offices, you know that the targets are manipulated and fake. And the managers know that you know. But you all sit there and pretend it is objective and rational.
Yep.
You are cool, and you know what is cool.
So yeah. It's like you're in the fucking Matrix, man. It's like you're in the Matrix. But it doesn't have to be this way. I mean, let's have a little history lesson.
Socialism had spread, had grown, had become much more sophisticated, and was able, either by the ballot or by revolution, to take power. Starts in 1917 in Russia and then percolates all over the world.
That first successful workers' revolution in the former Russian Empire is key to understanding the fear-mongering around socialism today. The US government was terrified of its influence, and for good reason. In 1920, Eugene Debs won almost 1 million votes running for president as a socialist.
That's what kills me about this. This kind of ties into the whole we're going to have a commune thing. The Red Scare happened because they were scared shitless. Because communism is a better fucking idea. And they knew it. You don't fight a cold war against an ideology that you think is inferior. You let it fail on its own, but they couldn't do that. They couldn't do that.
With the coming of the financial crash of the late 1920s and the Great Depression, pressure from an increasingly militant working class movement forced the president at the time, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, to introduce reforms that provided Social Security, state jobs, and unemployment benefits.
And then the factories start.
But was the New Deal really just a band-aid for a failing capitalist system? And what's become of those reforms?
In the 1930s, with the collapse of capitalism, there was a big debate within the Socialist and Communist Party. There was, between the reformers and the revolutionaries. The reformers won, hands down. That's why we have a New Deal. We reformed. Okay, here we are 60 years later, and what have we seen? That those reforms were insecure, were vulnerable, and most of them have been undone. Therefore, that debate is over. The conclusion is you have to take the further steps, otherwise the reforms themselves.
After the Second World War, U.S. authorities moved to clamp down on the socialist movement. and Senator Joseph McCarthy began a campaign aimed to purge leftists from the trade unions, government, and even Hollywood, known as the Red Scare. The campaign crushed the dynamic movement for social change, whether it took an outlook of revolution or reform.
In recognizing a communist, physical appearance counts for nothing. If a person consistently reads and advocates the views expressed in a communist publication, he may be a communist.
Today, the Red Scare is ever present.
You may be a communist. That reminds me of...
Socialism had spread, had grown. The conclusion is you was the reform.
Authorities moved to clamp down on the socialist movement.
That just reminds me of, I forget, Jeff Foxworthy. You may be a redneck. Yeah. You may be a communist.
In recognizing a communist, physical appearance counts for nothing. If a person consistently reads and advocates the views expressed in a communist publication, he may be a communist.
Today, the Red Scare is ever present.
Yeah. Down with imperialists. Yeah. No, I'm pro-imperialist. That seems like a good fucking plan there. Anyways, in the words of Commie Trucker, by the way, I want to get him on the show.
Yes.
Somebody asked him, so you think someone that sits on their ass and does nothing should have everything a person that works their ass off has?
Yes. Everybody deserves a life of dignity.
Yep. We literally have enough for everyone on the planet. But capitalists do not want us. They don't want to share. Ronan says, quote, my son is not a communist. He may be an elk, a mason, a communist, but he is not a porn star. We're going to talk about that here in just a minute. But yeah, I love commie truckers. No nonsense, because people will sit there and be like, oh, do you think that everyone deserves an iPhone? Yeah, why not? But I work hard. If one thing that COVID has shown us, it's that people want to work. People were miserable. I mean, posting everywhere on social media how they wanted to get out, how they wanted to do things. Like, what more proof do you need? But that is something that they don't want to talk about, and they don't want us to know. They think everybody's just going to sit and do nothing. But we know that that's not the way it works, because we can see. But again, it's not about the people. Like, even America's foreign policy, it's not about the people. People, the consent is manufactured. Even now, it's manufactured.
U.S. foreign policy is rational, it's successful, and it's very consistent. It just does not serve the interests of the people in the countries that it goes to, and it does not serve the interests of the American people. The goal of U.S. foreign policy is to support all those countries, leaders, and movements that welcome in multinational corporate investors, that open up their land.
Here we go.
Ding, ding, ding. What do we have for her, Johnny?
That is true.
And their labor, their markets, and their natural resources to the expropriation and exploitation by these rich people. And the other goal of U.S. policy, it's the other side of the same goal, really, is to obliterate or wipe out or undermine any leader, political movement, or nation that tries to develop its own land, labor, and resources for itself, that is self-defining and self-developing. Those countries are demonized, their leaders are demonized. The American people are told that they are a mortal threat to our safety and our security, and they therefore have to be done in. And that is the consistent policy. We see that today in the Middle East.
Correct!
Yup. That's exactly right. Exactly right. Oh dear. Something else that I wanted to talk about tonight. And some random geek said they make so many iPhones each year that there are enough iPhones for everyone. If we focused on production, we could produce an iPhone for every person in the world. There could be fucking 8 billion iPhones. But that's not what they're here for. Dominance, control. And at the end of the day, it's about capital. It's about money. I mean, that is one thing that I'll always be sad to say, but Rush Limbaugh was right. Follow the money. Follow the money. It literally is about the money. It's money or power, and those things tangentially, I want to see a fair phone, says Nerd Teacher. It's still a greenwashed capitalist project, but yes, I agree. Maybe a pine phone. Anyways, yeah. But capitalists don't want that. They want there to be inequality. They want there to be deaths. I was just shocked because for those people that didn't watch the show with Black Bloc Politics, I think you probably should go. But number of people who die per year from malnutrition. Ah. 5.8 million people a year die from hunger. And this says around 9 million people die every year of hunger and hunger-related diseases. This is more than AIDS, malaria, and tuberculosis combined. When you're talking about COVID, I mean, this is mind-blowing. But we don't talk about this. We're talking about COVID. Yes. COVID's killed the population of Vermont, essentially. But literally, you're talking about 5.8 million people a year. In 12 years, more people die from hunger in the world than there are in the entire UK. Think about that. And stay on that page. I almost shut the stream off. But if you go to like, and you ask the same fucking question, how many people homelessness? Forgot an S there. We'll say in the world. 1.6 billion people lacked adequate housing. People don't talk about it. I mean, COVID is something, but there are things that we could do that we choose not to. We go and foment war across the world. Since the Afghanistan war started, 2.2 trillion have went to the defense contractors. $2 trillion. I mean, it's just staggering. Yeah, but they're worried about how much healthcare costs. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Anyways, we're gonna keep on going. I just wanted to point that out. I did want to. What is this? I don't know what this is.
I like my women how I like my coffee. Not black.
I like my mediocre white men how I like my Metamucil. I don't. But you know what? There's a big difference. At least my Metamucil keeps me regular. What are y'all doing for us?
Just being shitty.
Keeping society racist?
So
yeah. We don't need you, Chad.
Yeah, no doubt, Chad. So apparently, OnlyFans, because of the stuff that's going on with Pornhub, OnlyFans decided last week that they were going to stop letting adult content on the site. And I wanted to talk about that. And I have some videos from
So I'm sure many have heard the news that OnlyFans is banning sexually explicit materials from its website. This company basically just fired thousands and thousands of sex workers who either use the site to supplement their income or to finance the whole of their living expenses altogether.
Here's the thing. TERFs, which are usually SWERFs. Here's the thing. They're always talking about the Johns. They're always talking about the pimps. They're always talking about being exploited. OnlyFans literally is a place where you're not going to have pimps. You literally put the shows on. You decide what you want to show. It's about your fans. It's not. And some random geek said Phoenix sells some pics on OnlyFans to try and make some money, and that's the thing. Like, people are excited about it because they don't want it to exist. Even though it supports these women, they don't care. It fucking reminds me of Brexit. They don't care what the effect is. You know, get rid of the immigrants. Get rid of the sex workers. We don't care. We don't care if they have bills to pay. We don't care if they have a life. We don't care. Just fucking get rid of them. They can get a real job, except that they can't. Children will starve. people will starve. They'll go homeless, but you don't give a fuck. All right, you go to sleep, nerd teacher. Good night. Nerd teacher's got to go to sleep because it's like midnight. Catch up tomorrow on the next edition.
And this is a feminist issue, because the sex workers affected by this are predominantly women and other gender-oppressed individuals. However, I've seen a lot of feminists on Twitter act very ambivalent towards this, or worse, even happy about this news, because they see it as a win in the fight against pornography. I think it should be clear that using the same methods to fight pornography that conservatives do is not feminist praxis.
And exactly. And if you think of it this way, prohibition didn't work with alcohol. It hasn't worked with marijuana. It's not going to work with porn.
And this is not me saying that the porn industry is not rife with misogyny, racism, transphobia, or homophobia, or that a lot of what is presented as consensually made pornography is not revenge porn or other sexual abuse materials. But we gotta understand that these things are the result of the conditions of a white supremacist, patriarchal, capitalist state. We can't use that same state or the corporations that support it as a way of enacting meaningful change. Carceral reformist solutions, such as the banning of pornography through legislation or lobbying the companies that are involved with pornography, will not get to the root of the problem. These things will not end the production of pornography or the proliferation of sex trafficking. They'll just push them further underground. And even if these things did end up making a difference, we can't view sex workers who are an economically vulnerable group as necessary collateral damage. As feminists who are truly radical and not just reactionary, we need to understand this. Our stance on this OnlyFans news should be clear. We cannot, under any circumstances, support organizations like Exodus Cry or NCOSE.
And that's the thing. And if you go and you listen to sex work voices on this, again, Sesta Fosta, the laws that were passed, they impacted sex workers, not John's, sex workers. Adam Rainstopper staggers in. Apparently he's in all fucked up. Glad to have you, whether you're fucked up or not. But yeah, it's absolutely, they don't care. Like, they are conservatives. And that's what I keep saying over and over and over again. TERFs are conservatives. Period. End of story. I don't care what you say. You can say, oh, well, I'm a leftist and I just don't agree with the exploitation of women. Well, fucking focus on that. Because sex work is work. It's ironic that we're talking about TikTok tonight and OnlyFans, because I actually messaged one of my favorite TikTokers. She's an older English woman, and she was talking. She's basically retired, but she does housekeeping, and she was talking about sex work and how there is a correlation between sex work and domestic cleaning, domestic staff, and how the work should be respected. And there are people that are exploited for profit when it comes to housekeeping. There are people that are trafficked for housekeeping. Adam said, guess who got arrested? Guess who the women's prison is filled with? So, like, everyone knows I am a dope fiend. When I was on the streets, dudes boosted at Home Depot and girls got tricked. There were exceptions, but that was the rule. Jordan Joan P said, a lot of sex workers enjoy what they do for a living. Here's the thing. It's about bodily autonomy. That's why, as a trans person, I made a TikTok the other day. There was a cis woman that was posting about abortion, and I didn't agree with her take on it. And you know what I did? I kept on scrolling because you know what? Abortion's never going to affect me. So I have nothing to say on it. My opinion on abortion is not important outside of saying that I believe in bodily autonomy. I believe that when it comes to medical suicide, when it comes to marijuana, I mean, death with dignity, if you want to call it that. Marijuana, I can go down the line. All drugs. It's not about whether it's bad for me, because a lot of shit, you know, are you going to mandate that people eat a certain diet? Are you going to mandate that people don't smoke? Are you going to mandate that people don't get fat? Are you going to put people in prison for fucking not following this regimen? If not, then, which is ridiculous. If not, then, you know, people ought to have bodily autonomy. You shouldn't discriminate against certain people. But again, it's about money, generally. Anyways, let's continue, because I have some more videos on this.
I've debated even saying this because I wanted to avoid bringing attention to the person in question. However, the issue itself, I feel, does need more attention, so let's talk about OnlyFans. I went live the other day, as I do, as I enjoy, and as usual, some 14-year-old kid hopped into my chat. I don't allow minors in my live chats, and that's for a very good reason. Anyway, the first thing this stranger said upon joining my live was, "Are you worried about your job in October?" Now, I was not up to date on the news and I was very confused. And I said, "What? What do you mean?" And he said, "Yeah, in October, you're going to lose your job." And I'm like, well, what does this kid know that I don't? Because what? So I said, what? Which job? First of all, which job? And what do you mean I'm going to lose it? And he's like, yeah, OnlyFans is getting rid of adult content now. So you're going to have to get a real job like everyone else. Like everyone else. Now, I would like to circle back to the fact that the child who said this to me, first of all, was 14 years old. So there's some other stuff to unpack there, which I did not discover until after he made those comments, but I kind of suspected it was a child. So I did mute him immediately because, first of all, you're a kid, get out of my chat. And second of all, that's not how we talk to people in this community. I do not personally perform sex work. I have looked into it and thought about it and even dabbled, but not my thing. Just doesn't work. And yes, I do think that commercial is bad because of human trafficking and some other problems, not to do with the content being created itself. But why are so many people so happy about hundreds of women losing their primary source of income? You go on.
That is what it boils down to. They don't give a shit. It is exactly like Brexit. People want it and they don't care who it harms. They don't care if it harms themselves. They don't care about these women. They swerfs and turfs will sit there and say, "Oh, you don't care about women. You're trying to wear us like a skin. You're wearing women face, blah, 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 blah." And they'll go on and on and on talking about women's rights, and they don't give a shit about women. This is obvious. They are enjoying the fact that women are going to lose their jobs and not have income. It's not hypothetical.
This big thing about the hustle culture and making money and doing something with yourself. But when a woman does it in a way that you don't like, all of a sudden you are vying for her failure. That is a deeply rooted character defect that you have. If you hope that someone is just lunged into poverty because the way that they were making money is conflicting with some puritanical ideal that you have.
For another person, not for yourself. That's what if you don't like sex work, don't do sex work. It's that easy.
This is not the place for you. First of all, you're not welcome here. And second of all, how about you try therapy and work through some of your problems? Because vying for the failure of people who are just trying to live their lives and make ends meet, that's disgusting. And you are disgusting if you do that, and you need a big emotional shower.
And and I was going to say some random geek, but actually Adam Rainstopper in the chat says, no matter what anyone thinks of sex work, there's no value in prohibiting it. The Nordic model, that only targets the Johns. The Johns aren't going to go into well-lit main streets if they're going to get busted. So it is driven into the same dark alleyways as anywhere else. The same dangers apply. It removes one thing: arrest from the list of risks. That's it. Yeah, exactly. And it's again, it's not about the women. But.
So I guess the forbidden website said, LOL, just kidding.
The forbidden website, you can't say OnlyFans. If you're wondering, that's why I had the fans. And well, I put two of them together and it kind of looked like they were nipples. So that's why I put them on there. But yeah, the forbidden website is OnlyFans, and you'll hear people on TikTok call only shans, only spans, phony sands. Anyways,
Now that everyone's moved to new platforms, that was a fun week.
And that's the thing. They want it to impact incomes of women, real live women. Again. Well, and Ronan said they were only fooling. Only fooling. Here's the thing. It's one of the reason why they backed off. I can tell you why. Again, it's money. They were hemorrhaging users because this is a source of income. And to be honest with you, I don't understand why sites like this just don't go into crypto. Like, I know that Bitcoin is very expensive, but there are coins that are cheap that you could have a wallet for. I mean, specifically for these type of things. Adam Rainstopper said, if you're anti-sex work, supporting right-wing shit does not help. You think women are being coerced into it? Okay, give them money, cash in hand, write them a $4,000 a month check for life. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. If you're being anti-sex work, you had better be prepared to absorb all the risk, all the economic responsibility. Otherwise, you do not give a fuck about women. It's just, you just think it's icky. And that's the bottom line. They don't give a fuck. This is the same argument as abortion. They want to talk about the little babies, but they don't want to help little babies. At the end of the day, they would rather talk about hypothetical trafficked women than actual women who will be. Some random geek says Bitcoin uses way too much energy that is damaging for the environment. I'm not necessarily talking about Bitcoin or more like blockchain and cryptocurrency itself. But that being said, there's got to be ways around it that don't involve, because what this was they were being pressured by payment processors. So yeah, they just want to fuck women over. Swerfs again are in bed. Swerfs and turfs in bed with conservatives. So yeah, Anyways, something else I wanted to talk to y'all about tonight is, because I have taken a pretty hard stance about racism. I think it's because I grew up with a grandfather that was a racist. Poppy, in fact, I think I have it on my website. Let me see. By the way, you can go to martyabernathy.com and you can listen to my I'm slowly actually let's put it over here. I'm slowly getting it back to where I want it. I actually got some plugins here. This is the same theme that I used back in 2007, 2008. Got my socials on here. That's new. I actually got this player. I can upload the episodes now in WordPress itself. But I want to see if I can Google. How about we do this? I think I can do it like this. Site and then Poppy. So my grandfather was called Poppy. Poppy. Beep, 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 beep. No. I think. No. Sorry. Let's try this. No. Yes. I wrote a post about it. It's not showing up in Google though. That's so weird. That's so weird. That's frustrating. Because right now I don't have a search function. That was a popper. That was a popper. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, here it is. Ba-bow. Ba-ba-bow. Oh, I'll have to find a picture. That sucks. I thought I had my picture of my Poppy up here. Anyways, I'll find it. But he was in the Klan. He was very racist. One of the most racist men I've ever known. He literally would shut the television off when Emmanuel Lewis came on the television. And if you don't know who Emmanuel Lewis is, like, this is what let's see. Pudding. Like,
Guide to Health. 8:30 p.m. Friday on Private Benjamin. Sponsored by Grape Nuts, Raisin Grape Nuts, Grape Nuts Flakes.
Let's see if we can find it.
Say I like finest. Great idea. For yourself.
which can cost more. Marriage counselors and medical advisors. These stories and more on the next Health Beat magazine, your consumer guide.
Unexpected happened to Jackie Wells when she started wearing Shoal exercise sandals.
Darn it. So basically, this was Webster. Cute little kid. And he made all kind of commercials. My grandfather literally would yell at the TV and then shut the TV off and just inward this, inward that. He was a racist, but he was unabashedly so. To the point where my grandmother would have to say stuff to him to pipe down when he was in public. So it was, for me, it was something that I had to confront early on, and especially when I have when I had to confront a lot of this stuff, because when I was in high school, basically busing started, and it wasn't hypothetical. Black people stopped being a hypothetical to me because they were in my face. And I'm embarrassed to say it, but I literally thought that all black people were on welfare, ate chicken, fried chicken and watermelon, and drove Cadillacs. I literally thought that. And I asked some of the most cringe fucking questions to my black friends in high school. Cringe. I don't even want to repeat them. They're so cringe. Jordan Joan P in the chat says, I have a theory. I think people don't think it's not work because some sex workers are self-employed, but in society, it's not real work. If you don't have a boss yelling at you, it's not a job. Well, yeah, I think there's that. There's some jealousy. It's puritanical fucking culture. I mean, there's just so many things wrapped up in it. But ultimately, I support bodily autonomy. So yeah, that's Emmanuel Lewis. Imagine hating something like this cute little kid. And then when I saw my friends, and they weren't the people that my grandfather was talking about, it made me kind of dig in and kind of try to understand him and where he was, and kind of try to understand where black people were coming from. And it's been a journey. That being said, in that journey, people have talked about white guilt, and they'll say to me, oh, you just feel bad for being white. I'm not going to feel bad for being white. The reality is, though, well, let's watch the video. Come on.
America cannot. Fragility coming up in 3,
experience
2,
racism.
1.
Okay, what this ignorant bitch is saying is that white people in America cannot experience cannot and do not experience racism.
They don't.
But look at here, you little bitch. I don't guess you're old enough to fucking know any better.
Got it.
But while there is systemic racism in the United States, that is stacked against black folks and folks of Asian or South American or Mexican descent, this is true. White people can't experience racism and sexism.
See, here's the thing. White people like this guy always want to fucking argue. They don't want to argue the definition. They want to. I mean, he even admits the systematic racism exists. But listen to what he says.
We're not talking about sexism.
Examples, you dumb fuck.
Oh, big mad.
I was turned down for 2 jobs.
In my time. I work for the same fucking company.
No one cares.
One reason I was told because I was fucking white.
Here's the thing. That's not racist. That's discrimination. And they're different. Like there has been historic systematic racism. And you just don't wipe that away. Like, I'm all for reparations. I'm all for quotas. Because there have been quotas forever. Adam said, I'll take things that never happened for 1,000, Alex. You are correct. Oh man, and that's the thing.
And they had to hire a minority.
Maybe because you're angry.
Job. Another one I was turned down for because they said they had to hire a woman.
See, here's the thing. For most of America's existence, men were hired over women. And now that that's flipped, to make it equal, to bring parity, to bring some justice in, the white guy is pissed.
Racism
Because you're a
and sexism,
dick.
blatantly. Fuck off, bitch.
What we just witnessed in the wild was a fragile white man who could not get a point across to save his life. Bro, you're fucking lying. I'm going to assume you were passed up for that job because you are a fragile, egotistical thumb whose feelings are very hurt by a basic truth. I don't know, maybe if you don't speak to women that way, you get a job. It's the fucking fragility from the Flower Patch Kid for me. It's the not having big enough cojones to tag me in your response for me. It's the alabaster aggressor for me. It's the cottage cheese crying for me. Stay mad, boo boo. Bye.
That's getting shiggy with it on she's a bit of a liberal, but I absolutely love her content. Here's another video from her.
According to the literal definition, I knew exactly what this video was going to do when I posted it, but I gotta say, man, my expectations were exceeded. The amount of white people that are just doing mental gymnastics to try to prove their point that white people can't experience racism in America is just chef's fucking kiss.
And that's the thing. And Adam says it's not even equal, and that's correct. But even trying to get to parity, and white people are like, oh, it's unfair. Suddenly they care about equality. And the real reason that they don't want to talk about that is their guilt. They know the history, and they don't care, and they're more worried about losing what they have or not being fair. Suddenly fairness is important. And this is another creator that fucking just nails it.
All right, I have a message for my white folks. White folks, I know that there are those of you who have experienced discrimination based on your race. I hear it all the time. I went to a black school where I was the only white person and people picked on me. Someone called me a Karen, even though I believe in Black Lives Matter and I fight for racial justice causes. I know that prejudice can come in all forms and that everyone has bias, no matter who you are. But, and there is a but, not everybody's bias is backed up by systems of oppression. As a white person, you might experience discrimination on an individual level, and nothing excuses that. Those interactions are bad too. But the discrimination that I face is not only at the individual level, it is pervasive in our societal systems.
So, some random geek and Jordan Joan P in the chat bring up a good point. I can't say the N-word, but black people can. An actual argument from my brother. And Jordan Joan P said, yeah, same with my dad. Here's the thing. When talking to people about this, I always talk about context. And there's a bit, go look it up. It's not the 7 words, but Carlin talks about context. And he says the N-word in and of itself is not racist. It's the person using it that is racist. It's the context. And it is. It's the context. That is why black people, because when black people say the N-word, it's like saying my friend, my brother, my comrade. That's a good it's like saying my comrade, my friend, my fellow, my buddy. When white people say it, the context is 400 years of oppression and slavery. Context matters always. If I say to you as a trans person, oh, you throw like a girl. If I said that to another trans woman, we would be excited about that. If I was a cis dude and I said, you throw like a girl, it's context. It's the same fucking words. But the context matters. So when people try that, whether it's your father or your brother, just think of Jordan Joan P says a little bit, but not the same, of course, the word queer. Yeah, and it does. I mean, I use queer all the time, and that's how I identify. But if a cis person calls me a queer, it's not the same thing. It's a slur. For me, it's an explanation of my sexuality, because I'm not gay. I'm not bisexual. I'm queer. Because even however you view me, I'm queer. I'm LGBT. No matter how you look at it, I'm queer. So, it's context, and context matters. And for those individual people, you need to take a look and basically take something out of their lives and say, how would you feel if so-and-so said this to you? And try to get them to see that. That's how I would argue against that. But anyways, we continue on with the show. This made me laugh a bit.
Something that's true for Christians, but we're not ready for that conversation.
All mission trips do is boost Christians' egos. You do not need to take Genesis literally to be a Christian. The concept of hell as eternal torment is simply not in the Bible. The Bible is not a history book. The Bible is not a perfect moral code. The Bible is not inerrant. For Black Christians, it literally does not matter that Christianity was in Ethiopia. You are from West Africa or the west coast of the Congos. That has nothing to do with your people. And please, please stop using Pascal's wager. That is not a good argument.
I love that. So Adam Rainstopper in the chat says, some old man at the gas station asked me if I was a faggot. And I said, yeah, is that a problem? And I flicked him in his tits. Oh my God. That's the thing. If somebody says that to me, I'm just like, in fact, I passed up one of the best comebacks in my life. My ex called me a faggot. I was like, it's your fault. You're the person that introduced me to that. Anyways. Oh my God. And if you saw that video I posted of that guy trying to accost me saying, are you a bloke? And that stuff. I'm just like, here's the thing. Oh, well, some random geek said, my former manager thinks the Old Testament of the Bible is real. Well, some people believe in ghosts. Some people believe in fairies, you know? There are a lot of people that don't believe Jesus existed, not as written in the Bible. And the Bible was written 70 years after the fact. I mean, you can go down the line, but yeah. And that's the thing, too. I wouldn't ever, because Adam did not spell out faggot in the chat, but I've had that slur used against me. So I feel like I do have some ownership over it. And I can say it. But I would never say the N-word. I did make that mistake of putting it in print on Trans Advocate many moons ago, and I learned my lesson. Black Twitter. You taught me. You taught me. Jordan Joan P in the chat said, one time at my old job, a coworker was joking around saying that one of our coworkers was gay, and I said, yeah, that makes both of us. Good. Why do people fucking care? Here's something that about TERFs, and I thought was interesting.
TERFs will often accuse trans people of perpetuating gender stereotypes, and I find that very peculiar because doesn't everyone, cis or trans, perpetuate gender stereotypes? Like, as a woman who dresses relatively femininely and wears makeup, am I not perpetuating gender stereotypes? Or at least not rebelling against them? TERFs will act like trans people are single-handedly enforcing the gender binary, which is ridiculous since trans people make up a disenfranchised and oppressed minority group. They don't hold the systemic power that could meaningfully enforce gender in any way. But still, TERFs form their whole politic around the idea that trans people are uniquely enforcing gender essentialism. And they'll even say this about random individual trans people, especially trans women. For example, if a trans woman posts a video of herself on TikTok where she's presenting femininely, TERFs will lose their minds. They'll flood her comments with things like, so this is what you think it means to be a woman? You think womanhood equals femininity? You're enforcing gender stereotypes by dressing that way. When the trans woman in the video literally hasn't said anything about gender or womanhood or what it means to be a woman. She's literally just existing. But even if a trans woman were to say something like, I dressed femininely today, I feel like a woman, TERFs will act like this is an atrocious crime. A crime that only trans women commit. For every trans woman that says, I feel like a woman in a gender essentialist way, there are at least 100 cis women that are saying the exact same thing. Ask a group of cis women, especially those that are older and straight, what it means to feel like a woman, and I bet you a good chunk of them are going to say something like, I feel like a woman when I wear makeup. Or I became a real woman when I became a mother. There's even that Shania Twain song about putting on a skirt and feeling like a woman. But TERFs don't acknowledge this. If they do, they'll say something like, well, she's only saying that because that's what she was taught. That's when they want to have a more nuanced conversation about gendered socialization. They'll make excuses for cis women and extend empathy towards them in a way that they'll absolutely refuse to do so for trans women who do the same thing. So many cis women hold gender essentialist views in one way or another. TERFs act like the relatively small amount of trans women who also do are some unique and threatening problem.
Yeah. And
so my friends Walt
and they have fucking power. And they have fucking power. They don't. So I mean, TERFs will talk about the trans cabal. And trans people don't have any fucking power. If you look at almost every survey they've done of trans people, they're poor. And I mean, I feel lucky because of how things worked out for me, but the younger you transition, the more likely it is you're going to be poor. That's just fact. So anyways, I got a couple more videos. These are on Afghanistan. I wanted to put these in. Actually, I don't know what this is.
So the issue of seeing Trump as like the root of all evil is that the system is the problem. He's part of a bigger system. He's just a symptom of it. All the issues we had during Trump are still here. Like, they're not gone. There were specific politicians that were claiming that Cuba was human trafficking people because of their medical missions during COVID. These politicians were obviously Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, you know, the people you would expect. But the Biden administration is really committed to these inhumane and outdated policies when it comes to Cuba. Trump wanted to build a wall to protect the child migrants, which did not make any sense at all. Like, it wouldn't help us, it would hurt us. And Kamala Harris is doing similar stuff. Like, she is claiming that anti-immigrant policy is anti-trafficking policy.
Yeah, so, yeah, there you go. Not a lot different. Not a lot different. This is a couple things on Afghanistan.
So my friends Walter Masterson and the guys at Midas Touch are at it again. And this time they found a Republican in its own habitat. And they're going to ask this Republican a question about the refugees in Afghanistan. Just watch and listen.
There's really no words. It's awful. It's awful, and it's for the, you know, we did that as America. We were in for the first time in my life. It's heartbreaking. You know, it's just not who we are. It's not who we are, and yeah, that's not.
Yeah, thank you. And so, I mean, should we take them in as refugees?
I think there's a whole lot of things that I don't fully understand about that, and I think there's a whole lot of things that need to be fixed before we consider that. And I would need to be educated, but probably, you know, as heartbreaking as that is to say we shouldn't, I think we need to be cautious.
I love how Karen started throwing this facade of crying and actually caring. And then when she's asked if, you know, should we let those refugees in, the true colors start coming out. That is exactly what Republicans do every single day. The primary Republican voter all feel this way. They don't care about refugees, especially refugees from Afghanistan. I mean, this was proof, what you just heard. Now, how do you think this situation makes me feel as a war refugee? Because believe it or not, some people here don't know, I am a war refugee. I had to leave 7 countries because of war. How do you think it would make me feel if I heard some shit like that from, oh, yeah, I'm so heartbreaking, oh, the children are dying. No, I don't want them fucking here. How do you think this makes me feel as a refugee, that people that are already in this country that are refugees, war refugees? Republicans are all exactly the same. They're all the same. Don't let them fool you with this facade of crying for the children in Afghanistan. Don't let them fool you, because they didn't cry for the 50,000 children that died because they wanted to get bread in Bosnia, okay? Or the 8,500 people that were massacred in 1995 in Bosnia in Srebrenica. They don't care, and they never will.
Nope. But you got to keep aware.
Anytime the U.S. is trying to withdraw from a war, the U.S. media has 2 distinct phases of propaganda. The first is the atrocity propaganda, and then the second one is the concern troll phase. The concern troll phase is where they pick some marginalized group to suddenly care about. And unfortunately, Americans have this bad habit of believing that if they don't hear about something in the New York Times, it did not exist. Well, if you hear about women's rights all of a sudden, it doesn't mean that the US-backed warlords were treating women okay. It just means that it did not make it its way to the New York Times.
So I just quieted myself. I don't know if you heard that, but basically she was saying they're making this about women's rights, but that's not what it was about. It was about money. It was about money. It's about money. So now I have one more. Actually, I don't know. I have one more thing to talk about, and then we're going to go to the funnies. I have about 6 of them today, I think.
Let's address Southern hospitality. Is it a myth? Does it exist? It is a myth, and it does exist. It exists if you're white. I'm sorry.
Short but sweet. That is so fucking true. So fucking true. So, like, they're still using this in Indiana. The Hoosier Hospitality Promise. They're still using this branding. They've been using this branding for quite a long time. Hoosier Hospitality. And they want to talk about, this is literally like something that has been going on forever. They want to Hoosier Hospitality. Here we go. They literally have this kind of shit. I mean, this is literally.
Hoosier Hospitality is embracing new friends, just like ones we've always known.
If they're white.
Hoosier Hospitality, it's genuine.
If they're white.
Hoosier Hospitality is taking pride in the Hoosier state and what we have to offer.
If we're white.
What Hoosier Hospitality means to me is experiencing the most wonderful people all throughout Indiana's locally owned restaurants.
That are white.
What's Hoosier Hospitality? Hoosier Hospitality is friendliness and kindness.
To white people.
To all of our guests and family.
Who are white. Smiling faces.
Hoosier
for people that are white.
Hospitality is understanding the needs of our residents and our guests.
Who are white.
Hoosier Hospitality is all about sharing the wonders of Indiana's nature. A setting where couples can relax, refresh, and reconnect.
Who are white.
Hoosier Hospitality is a warm, friendly smile and feeling at home no matter where you are.
If you're white.
Hoosier Hospitality is treating everyone as friends.
If you're white.
Your hospitality is an invitation to our visitors to come to Potato Creek State Park to experience nature in all its variety.
Especially if you're white.
Hoosier hospitality makes you feel like a star.
If you're white.
Hoosier hospitality is a welcome.
We're almost halfway through this motherfucker. It's 3 minutes long. Guess what we've seen? A bunch of white people.
And safe environment.
Hoosier hospitality is knowing no stranger.
Who is white?
Hoosier hospitality is a way of life and a standard of service excellence in Indiana.
Who is white?
To me, Hoosier hospitality is about welcoming everybody into our community and making them feel like they're home.
If they're white.
Hoosier hospitality is going outside and taking our natural resources and sharing it with our visitors.
The white ones.
Hospitality is a way of life.
For white people.
Hoosier hospitality is making everyone feel like a local.
Yeah, especially if you're white.
Hoosier hospitality is genuine and real. You feel it no matter where you are in Indiana.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious. You know, so I went to when I went back to Indiana, because I grew up in Indiana. I got called everything. I got some of the most transphobic comments being in Indiana. I got harassed more in Indiana. And the last time I went back, I think it was 2017. I went to I went to Shapiro's Delicatessen. Let's see if it has a website. I went to this delicatessen downtown, got one of their world famous Reubens, and it was fucking delicious, right? The person that worked there also had a cop's badge and was talking about the blacks and the men in dresses very loudly. Hoosier hospitality, my ass. My fucking ass. If you're white, yeah. Let's actually what.
Shapiro's is a master at making deli sandwiches, including their famed corned beef.
If you're white.
Hoosier hospitality is the warmest people you'll ever meet.
Oh, wrong. Wrong, Leah.
And it feels like home.
If you're white.
Hoosier hospitality is helping people when they need it the most.
Help people. Help white people.
Hoosier hospitality to me means true service from the heart.
Hoosier hospitality is what makes Indiana special.
Are we going to get through this whole fucking thing without a black person?
Hospitality
This is literally from Visit Indiana.
is offering a friendly smile, providing outstanding service, and is truly what sets Indiana apart.
Hoosier hospitality is a great ride on the
We have someone that is not white.
in my nature trail.
Hoosier hospitality
Is there going to be a black person?
is a kind word and a friendly smile.
Hoosier hospitality is our unique brand of kindness.
Hoosier hospitality is how we introduce ourselves to the world.
Hoosier hospitality is over 200 volunteers welcoming you on the quilt gardens along the Heritage Trail.
Hoosier hospitality is creative, genuine, and welcoming.
Hoosier hospitality is breaded tenderloins.
Hoosier hospitality is a love note to you. We're all in this together.
We're all in this together.
We're all in this together.
We are all in this together. We are all in this together.
We are so in this together.
Not one fucking black person. Not one. Not one black person. Not one. There are 6 million people, 6.8 million people that live in Indiana, right? Let's see how many people. 9%. So only 2% are Asian, and there was an Asian person from the looks of it in that video. There was not a black person. Almost 10% of Hoosiers are black. Not one black person. Oh, there was a black woman at the end. Oh, I feel all better now. Oh God. That is indicative. There wasn't 10%. 10% of those people were not black. So there was one black and one Asian. Oh my God. That's the thing. They've been using that for Hoosier hospitality bit for at least 25 years. And it's so much bullshit. Kind of like Southern hospitality. If you're white, then it's right. But yeah. That always made me laugh. Hoosier hospitality. My ass. Hoosiers are some of the most bigoted. That's the thing. If I ever moved back to America, if I had to, I would not live in Indiana. I'd probably live in Chicago near my dad, or probably back in Madison. Madison was the best place in the Midwest as far as politics, as far as progressiveness. Yeah. But Indiana is not hospitable in the fucking least. It's ridiculous to even fucking say. Oh, God. Well, and here in the UK, they are always talking about, I can turn that shit on. Like, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? Can I help you today? How may I help you? And it's like, it's so fake. I mean, Brits make fun of us for that, but you know. Anyways, let's get into the comedy now. Let's get into the funny ones. This one made me laugh.
I'm champion. Get shit on. Get shit on. Get shit on. Your ass. Your ass. Shut the fuck up. 1v1 me, you pussy. Pussy. Fucking 1v1 me. You piece of shit.
She's basically making fun of her kids playing games. I was playing Call of Duty, and literally there were these two kids. They sounded like they were probably 7 or 8, and they were like fucking going around sniping people and then saying, "I'm the orange guy. Are you the orange guy?" I mean, it's like, oh my God. And then the other night there was this guy came in and he was just like, "Fucking white people don't know how to play this game, you bunch of white people." And there's kids and one of my friends told me in COD that there will always be people that will say, "I effed your mother." And honest to God, it happens quite a bit. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ. Cesspool. It really is a cesspool. There's a gamer, a girl gamer, and she puts stuff online. And it's sickening. It's gross. But, so I thought that, but I thought that was a pretty good dramatization of the people that are on there.
If you ever see a random staircase in the woods, you have to get away as fast as you can.
Don't listen to her. What you're supposed to do is walk all the way to the top, take the biggest dump that you can, design you a flag out of twigs and leaves, and you just colonized something a hippie more than likely built. Don't be an American. Be an American.
Don't be an American. Be an American. And this is the other one that I liked.
If you ever see a random staircase in the woods, you have to
run up that sumbitch, do a backflip, and punch God in the face.
Oh my God. I would, if I saw those stairs, let's look at them again.
If you ever see a random staircase in the woods, you have to get away as fast.
If I saw this one, I would have to run up and knock on it. Jesus, are you in there? Oh my God. This one's about banks, and it's funny, but it's fucking true.
If you ever see a random staircase in the woods, you have to get away as fast as you can.
No.
Anybody else in their early to mid 30s starting to realize your body just isn't doing what it's supposed to do anymore? Like, I'm just driving home and I take a bite of my Jack Link's Wild Heat beef jerky stick or whatever the hell it's called, and immediately my brain sends the shit pants aggressively signal to my bowels. Yeah, and that's bad enough. And then on top of that, I woke up with a sleep injury in my fucking knee. Fucking how? Like, I get like the back and I get like the shoulder, but my knee? The fuck was I doing in my sleep that caused my knee to hurt? I'm still gonna eat this fucking jerky though.
Oh, this one's about the banks. This was, I thought was funny.
Hi, I'd like to open a checking account. And how much will you be depositing? $5,000. Great! Now I will need you to fill out a few forms stating that you understand how all of this works. How does all of this work? You give us your money and we keep it safe. That sounds like a good thing. And then we also spend it on a bunch of stuff. Wait, you're spending my money? Yes, but don't worry. We do pay you to use it. By the end of the year, that $5,000 could be $5,010. That doesn't feel like a lot. Oh, and if you ever run out of money, we charge you money because we need your money to spend your money. And if I do run out of money, can I then spend your money? You can spend our money, but it will cost you money. Yeah, but you said before it was only 0.03%. Oh no, that's for us to use your money. For you to use our money, it costs a lot more money. How much more? A lot. That doesn't seem fair. Yeah, well, you.
Yeah, well, fuck you. Oh, God. We've done that one. We've done. Let's see what this.
Anybody else in their early to mid 30s starting to realize your body?
All right, we already did that one. This one I thought was gross and funny at the same time.
Sir, I'd love some popcorn shrimp. Oh, motherfucker, what? What are you? That is not how you. That is not popcorn shrimp. Why?
Let's watch that again.
Quick public service announcement. If you think there's some.
Sir, I'd love some popcorn shrimp. Oh, motherfucker, what? What are you? That is not how you. That is not popcorn shrimp. Why?
I'm sorry. I just wanted to watch that twice. Exactly, Jamie J. Well, technically it is popcorn shrimp. There is popcorn and there is shrimp. Yeah. Anyways. So, this is... Oh my God. So, let's look again.
Quick public service announcement. If you think there's someone who defends.
Sir, I'd love some popcorn shrimp. Oh,
Are you talking about this thing? Oh, you're gonna kill me, Jamie. You're gonna kill me. Oh. Oh my God. Racism against the white race intensified.
Motherfucker, what? What do you, that is not how you, that is not popcorn shrimp! Why?
Oh my God. Anyways, let's finish up with this.
Quick public service announcement. If you think that someone who defends queer or gay or trans people is secretly gay, and then yet at the same time when that same person defends women, you think that they're simping for pussy, then if my calculations are correct, then the actual person who we're defending against is you! With your dumb ass! Okay, thanks, bye!
Oh my God. I fucking love that. Oh. Oh God. Anyways, you guys are gonna kill me, and I'm gonna kill myself by laughing myself to fucking death. And I tried to bring some water, and still doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I almost, Jamie. It's a good thing I didn't have any water. We can play it again for you. We can play it again for you, Jamie. I think. Let's play it again.
Quick public service announcement. If you think that someone who defends queer or gay or trans people is secretly gay, and then yet at the same time when that same person defends women, you think that they're simping for pussy, then if my calculations are correct, then the actual person who we're defending against is you! With your dumb ass! Okay, thanks, bye!
Anyways, that's the show for tonight. By the way, if you want to help people, you can do one of two things. You can go to charitylinks.page. You can help people out. Jamie J and Some Random Geek are... Oh, my camera just locked up. Nice. Well, it's a good thing I'm getting ready to switch over anyways and go back to the main screen. You can go to charitylinks.page. I laughed so hard the video is frozen. Yeah. I'm sorry, that was fucking hilarious. But you can go to charitylinks.page. By the way, if you want to help out Comrade Sparkles, I want you to go over to Fanbase, subscribe. Think about it like OnlyFans for video for a comrade that really needs the help. He doesn't like to say it, but he needs help. So if you could, I think it's like $3 for a month. Subscriptions to Fanbase, I think. Let's see. I don't know how much it is. But I think it's like $3 a month. But think about that. If we got 1,000 people at $3 a month, you know, fucking, he could make all kinds of content and survive. So, anyways, think about that. Help a comrade out. By the way, if you feel so inclined, you can help me out by going to my social media accounts, especially...
We're streaming live on YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, Mixer, and Facebook. You can follow us on Facebook by searching for Tea Party Podcast. That's the letter T followed by Party Podcast, all one word. And on Twitter and Instagram at Marty Abernathy. You can financially support the show by making a one-time donation by going to trance.fm or by becoming a monthly patron at patreon.com/Marty Abernathy. That's MartyAbernathy.
So if you want to help out, you can. But thank you all for coming tonight. I've had a jump in the subscriber base. Please, 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 please. So fucking close. I want to get to 100 subscribers. We're about, what are we at? What are we at now? About 72 or 75. I want to get to 100. If I can get to 100, then I can get an actual URL that's not ZY12ZPQRAA729LL_2. Anyways, if you could help me out by ask your friends to subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Anyways, YouTube, actually, teapartypodcast.com. Click on the YouTube link and that'll take you right to the channel and subscribe. By the way, also hit the like button. You're here. Please, please, please hit the like button. It helps. Helps with the algorithm. Anyways, take care, y'all. And I will see you on... When will I see you? I'll see you when I see you. I'll see you on Saturday. Back on our regular schedule. I think probably Saturday we'll do the Patreon show since we didn't do it last week. And then we'll go back on our regular schedule. But y'all have a good night. Take care. And I will see you on Saturday.